morning and welcome to Today in L.A. My name is Mike Amos. His name is Forrest Lee. And it is a cold, cold morning in Pike County, Alabama.
Good morning, Mike.
Of course, ladies and gentlemen, you could hang a well, what do we say? This is hanging a hog weather. Is that right?
Something like that. They would normally take care of hogs this time of year, and I can remember vividly Granddaddy would do it and have some men come up from down the dirt road to help him. And
but cold weather. this is the kind of weather that you'd want to hang a hog. Is that right?
Hang a hog. Cold weather. It's Groundhog Day.
Yeah.
And somewhere in Pennsylvania, I can't pronounce that city, but they're gonna have if the hog comes out and sees his shadow, he'll go back in the hole, and supposedly we'll have 6 more weeks of cold weather. If he does not see his shadow, spring is close. Spring is in the near.
I've got a feeling. Now look, we're on Netflix this morning, but I've got a feeling he's going to see his shadow. What do you think?
I have no idea. It's just a wives' tale or whatever you want to call it. But it's cold out there now. I like cold weather. When it's supposed to be cold, I want it to be cold. When it's warm, I want it to be warm. When it's hot, I want it to be hot.
Well, I've got it. My feelings about the same as yours, but at the same time is I'd like to know that if I was going to be cold, I was going to be inside.
Right. Well, this is getting to be my favorite time of year. Right now, I'm kind of plotting and designing how I'm going to lay my garden out. And
already.
Yeah, and Jody does not know this yet, but I'm plowing up more of the backyard.
Yeah.
I'm making a bigger garden this year.
Exactly.
So,
but did you get a lot out of your garden last year?
A pretty good amount. Got a lot of peppers, more than normal, and I didn't do quite as many string beans that I've done in the past. I may increase that a little bit this year, but I could can snap beans. I've been taught how to do that, and jar them.
Yeah.
When you jar them in a pressure cooker.
Do you cook them first before you jar them?
What I do is
blanch them, or what do you call it?
Of course, first thing I do is scrub my kitchen and sanitize it to the nth, a little bit of Clorox, and rinse my hands, scrub, and then I snap them, and then you boil them, bring them to a boil, let them boil for about 2 minutes, and then you submerge them in ice cold water to stop the cooking. And then while everything's heating up, your jars are heating, then you drain that, keep your juice now. The juice that they boiled in, I save that juice.
Yeah.
And then I put them in the jars, fill up that juice, put a little bit of salt in them, canning salt, and then you seal them real good with new rings and new tops, and put them in there and then close your lid and pressure cook them for, I think, about 10 minutes, depending on your altitude.
Well, now, how do you pressure cook it?
You got a pressure cooker that's
not in the glass, though.
Yeah, the jars are in the glass. Then you got this metal pan, or it's a pressure cooker.
Yeah.
Made out of aluminum or whatever, steel, and you snap that lid in there, and then it cooks up, and that pressure builds inside, and what it does, it heats everything. And when you after it cooks for about 10 minutes, or pressure cooks for about 10 minutes, you take it to the side of the stove and let it cool off for 10 or 15 minutes. Then you take your lid off and you take your jars out, put them on a cloth, and then in about 2 to 4 minutes they'll start popping. If they pop, you know that they're sealed. So.
Mike, did you get all of that?
No, I just got on. I don't even know what we're talking about.
We're talking about canning snap beans.
Canning snap beans, something that I don't think you would care anything about. But Forrest, we've got a jack of all trades in Forrest Lee this morning. Mike Amos calling in from Grayton Beach, Florida. Tell us about it.
It's a beautiful morning, other than the fact it's freezing cold down here. It's about 37 degrees. Extremely breezy. Looking at the flags flying out here, and needless to say, it's going to warm up a little bit more than yesterday. I think it only got up to 47 yesterday down here. It's cold everywhere. I think up in Chicago ago in New York, they got, what, 2 feet of snow?
Yeah, that's right. Mike, I'm looking at a quarterback from Benedict High School in Benedict, Georgia. His name is Holden Gurnier. He is from Savannah, Georgia, and he has chosen the Auburn Tigers over the Georgia Bulldogs. He picked Auburn over Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Florida State, and Tennessee. He looks the part, Mike. He looks the part.
So he'll be able to come in and win the job this coming fall?
I don't know. I would, if he's not one of these guys that could win the job, they shouldn't have signed him because Auburn needs another quarterback.
Probably the biggest thing Auburn needs is offensive linemen and defensive linemen, and but that's what they all need.
Yeah, everybody needs one.
One thing Auburn doesn't need is a kicker. They never need a kicker. They always have a great kicker.
I was reading a report this morning or last night, Mike, of the top 90 recruits in the nation. Alabama has 13 that have signed. 13 out of the 90.
Too.
And but it's the same schools. There's 4 SEC schools in the top 7: Alabama, Georgia, LSU, Texas A&M.
Alabama's got 7 kids from Texas in that class.
That's crazy. That is crazy. They need more local kids.
Well, you go with.
They can do whatever they want to do.
That's crazy, Mike. That's crazy.
They won 6 national championships in the last 12 years.
I know it with Texas players. You better one of these days there's going to be an Alabama player lined up against a Texas player, and who are you going to pick? Who are you going to choose?
I'm sure he gets the top Bama players or tries to, and it's not like he's neglecting them, I wouldn't think. But I read where LSU has their top 6 players have signed with LSU.
That's good.
In the state of LSU.
They still have confidence in that crazy guy down there.
Well, LSU, I think, is ranked like number 4 in the country in recruiting. It says by this 247, Alabama's 1, Ohio State is 2, Georgia is 3, LSU 4, Clemson is 5, Oregon is 6, Texas A&M comes in at 7, followed by Southern Cal at 8, Notre Dame 9, Oklahoma 10. One of those teams will win the national championship.
Auburn comes in and has gotten a 6'7", 315-pound offensive tackle from a guy that had previously was going to go with Tennessee, but Tennessee's in trouble, so he's turned around and has chosen Auburn. Also, they've got a kid out of Reidsville, North Carolina that. It looks like he's turning his allegiances away from Tennessee and going to Auburn. And they got a kid from Kentucky that's done the same thing. And then the quarterback he's from Savannah, Georgia. And like I said, he turned down some pretty good teams: Georgia, LSU, Michigan, Florida State, Tennessee. And he's going to Auburn.
Going to Auburn.
So Auburn folks, jump up and down, do your backward flips because this guy's starting to get some good players.
Well,
and I told you on the show yesterday that there was going to be some players left over.
It's because Auburn has more slots than
that's right
than Alabama did because of whatever reason. I guess they could tell that something was about to change. But have we heard anything about where T. Martin or Derek Ansley's going? Have they been? I know.
Yeah, we already met. Anthony's going to the San Diego Chargers.
What about T. Martin?
Defense back coach. I don't know. I think T. Martin was at the Senior Bowl, but I don't know where he'll end up going.
Yeah, Chris Winkie was released by Tennessee, not retained, and there was another coach. I cannot remember his name, but
I thought Winkie, Mike, was down there at that military school in Florida.
About IMG?
Yeah.
I think he was he the quarterback's coach or offensive analyst at Tennessee?
Yeah, okay.
He was at Tennessee.
Yeah.
Chris Winkie that played he was a quarterback for Florida State, wasn't he? In college.
That's right, yeah.
And But you know, in a little while, we're gonna have Dan Smith on at the 8 o'clock hour. No, from 7:30 to 8. So looking forward to that.
Yeah, we sure are, and of course Dan's got a lot going on. Of course, some good information, not only on recruiting in the Messenger today. Excuse me, not in the Messenger, but the Advertiser today. Of course, it's Super Bowl week, and we'll be talking Super Bowl some today. And you know, Michael tells me jokes with me a lot about you know, Reed being my favorite golfer. Well, you know, he is one of my favorite golfers, but I mean, the guy,
Too much controversy.
The money that he won yesterday, compared to his second place finisher, Patrick Reed won $1.35 million Sunday, and his closest competitor won $456.
I guess that's Mike again.
And Mike, is that you?
Yeah, sorry, I lost you.
I was talking about Patrick Reed, how much more money he won. You know, and I know, you know, usually the guy that wins the tournament wins the most money, but gosh, this was a huge difference, almost $1 million difference.
The problem was they had like about 5 or 6 guys tied for second, and they had to break up the money.
Yeah, that's exactly right. Exactly right. In fact, there was 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people tied for first place.
Let me ask you this, or second place.
Oh, second place.
What about, what does do the caddies get about 10% of that, Michael? Is that what I've heard?
Yeah, that's what I've always heard.
Give
Over
about
the years.
10% of the earnings.
I think that's what they have to give, the minimum, and I'm sure they can give whatever they want. You know, the individual guy can. But Patrick Reed was won the golf match, but and there were 5 people tied for second. So that's averaging close to $500,000 apiece.
What I hear?
I know Patrick Reed's brother-in-law is his caddy.
Yeah.
They talked about that before, but
Yeah.
it's really sad. This week they'll go to the Waste Management in Arizona, in Phoenix, and that's where they have the huge, like, you know, 60, 70,000 people and
On the par 3.
30,000 people on that one hole, and I don't know if they're going to allow any fans or not this year.
Well, it's the most popular hole in golf, I would think, wouldn't you say?
Yeah,
Just like you.
No doubt, no doubt.
You know, working at the Pike County Lake in the past, I've always thought it'd be neat on one of those piers, have a driving contest over the lake and have like a small bucket submerged on the other side.
Oh, yeah.
You know, take a $10 donation, of course, insure it, but take a $10 donation per ball, and you're trying to get over the water into that little small tin bucket buried in the ground as a fundraiser. And if you win it, you win X amount of dollars or a new car or whatever. I always thought that'd be kind of neat.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. Of course,
or over Lake Lagoon.
You know, a lot of people tell me that on Mondays and Tuesdays, there's a lot of money changing hands on individual golfers betting against each other prior to the match.
Oh, well, side bets?
Yeah, side bets.
I have no idea.
Because, again, we're talking about football and golf this morning, and Auburn has hired another football coach, and his name is Travis Williams. He's coached a lot of good players over the years.
Oh, he's going to Miami, isn't he?
Yeah, well,
he's hired at
Miami. Yeah. Williams is hired at Miami.
Yeah, played at Auburn and coached at Auburn for about 5 years, I believe, but he's going to Miami.
And I got it mixed up with with our guy Williams that coached at Troy, that is actually has been hired by Auburn, and we wish him a lot of luck.
Michael, do you play much golf?
We got Groundhog Day today, so Punxsutawney Phil will either see a shadow or not see a shadow, so that will determine how much longer of the winter we have left.
What's the name of that town in Pennsylvania? How do you pronounce it? Schenectady?
No, it's called poacher. Wait a minute.
It's
got
a law.
He's called Punxsutawney Phil.
Yeah, that's right. Punxsutawney Phil. Yeah.
Okay, Punxsutawney. Do you play much golf, Michael?
Do I play much golf?
Right.
No. I haven't played golf in years. I used to play a lot when I was in high school at the country club, but I hadn't played probably 2 years.
Okay, just curious.
I love to watch it though.
Yeah, you big golf fan, aren't you?
Yeah, I mean, Dad and I've been to what do we go to Soul Creek twice since DJ died.
Oh yeah, it was always a lot of fun to go to see a match at Shoal Creek.
We're talking about Patrick Rick.
The twin sister put on the Bruno's Memorial Classic. She worked for Gene Holman up there in Birmingham, and
yeah, we always had it nice. It was always nice when she was working up there. You're right.
I got to bring around a lot of those senior players like Lee Trevino and you know,
Chi Rodriguez. Oh, Chi was always a lot of fun to watch. In fact,
and Curtis Strange. I met all those guys, and I got to go to a lot of the parents' parties and go to a lot of big events, and I got to be in the clubhouse with them too. I tell you what, those golfers eat really well.
And of course it made a lot of fun. And Birmingham they still have the one tournament, the Regents tournament, don't they?
Yeah, Regents Traditions at Shoal Creek. It got canceled this past year due to COVID, but it'll be back this year.
We have Dan Smith coming on our show this morning, and we're looking forward to our good friend to talk about recreation and what's planned for this time of the year. And also, I want to remind you that Camp Stew sale is going on Thursday. That is the best camp stew in the country, and it's a fundraiser going on by my good friends at the.
What's her first name? May.
Yeah,
Kim
that's
May.
right, Kim May.
Yeah.
And
I went by yesterday, Mike, and stopped by the Salvation Army on South Brandon Street, and I went ahead and paid for mine to go ahead and get that over with.
Man.
While I had the money in my pocket, so I paid for that, and Carter Sanders was in there.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
He said. He said, "What you doing Thursday?" I said, "Well, I'll be free after about 8:30, so unless something changes, I'm supposed to go out toward Leicester.
Help them pour it in.
Help them pour it in. It'll be cooked, and then they're going to bring it back to the Salvation Army, and they're going to distribute it between noon and 6.
Yeah.
What's the time frame? Somewhere
And
there.
and let me just say this: this is some of the best camp stew you'll find anywhere, and this is a whole quart of it.
Yes, sir.
And that makes up a lot of stew. I'm telling you, you can put a lot of stew in this container. That's what you're going to be doing. You're going to be pouring. When do we get through? When do we get through? And of course, this is wonderful, wonderful camp stew, and Kim does a great job, and it's a huge fundraiser for the Salvation Army. They'll sell out all of this.
Right, I think they're planning on 600 to 700 quarts.
Yeah, that is a great support.
You put them in your freezer and have them later.
And the great thing about it is that you're going to benefit at the same time. You donate to the cause. Let's say I'm going to buy 10 quarts of stew.
Sure.
All right.
And it would.
All right. And I'm going to probably give them out to some friends of mine and some folks I haven't seen lately. Might even bring Ben Beard some. And this is delicious camp stew. And of course, it's prepared by some of the best camp stew makers. And Carter Sanders is the main guy. And but what I'm saying is I'm going to buy 10 quarts of stew, and I'm going to give them out to some of my friends. And I'm going to give you $100 for it. You know, and what I'm saying is, you give and you get back,
right.
and that's the way I like to give. I love to give and then get something back.
Well, the reason I did, I'm doing it for a friend in need and her family and near Goshen.
Yeah.
But anyway, that's the thing about it. When I cook cakes or pies,
you get the joy
I
of giving.
Rarely do I eat them.
Yeah.
I love giving them away.
Yeah.
And when I cook them, I said, well, who, after they're done, I'm thinking, who needs a pie? Who needs a cake? And that's just in me.
Oh, Mike Amos. Hey, Mike Amos, yeah, he needs a pie bad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But,
I was reading an article. Bruce Arians coached at Alabama 2 different times, and they had a press conference for the Super Bowl week. And they asked him who picked the way he coaches, and he said, I think 2 people. He said Jimmy Sharp was my coach at West Virginia, not West Virginia, but Virginia Tech.
That's right.
Last year I got started in the business, and Coach Bear Bryant here said, the last thing Coach Bryant told me when I was going off to Temple, coach them hard and hug them later. And that's been my mantra ever since. And Jimmy taught me how to make the players believe they're going to win every game, even though they probably didn't have a chance because we stunk. we went on the field every time thinking we were going to win the game.
Yeah.
So Arians was on the staff with Bear Bryant at Alabama from 81 to 82. And of course we know he was on the staff with Mike DeBose in 1997 as offense coordinator. But Arians is a big Bear Bryant fan. He talks about him a lot in interviews.
Yeah, oh yeah, no question.
Michael, in that same article, I read it as well, but Jimmy Sharp played for Bear Bryant from 60 to 62. Was a graduate of Sidney Lanier. He was a guard. So I imagine
didn't
Bill Rice.
Didn't weigh but about 185, 190 pounds either.
So he probably, him and Bill Rice were probably close.
He played with Rice, yeah.
In fact, he was one of he was actually, along with Charlie Pell and several more, they call them Bryant's runts. They weighed 185, 190 pound guards.
Yeah, another interesting thing too. He shared a room with he and a black Afro-American player, James Barber, were the first white-black roommates at Virginia Tech. And of course, James Barber is the father of pro football legends Rondé and Tiki Barber.
That's right.
So that's kind of a neat connection too.
Sure.
And I know he and his wife have a foundation. Coach Arians and his wife have a foundation for assisting young children who are neglected or abused or whatever. So that's an honorable thing that he does.
I know his son Jake kicked at UAB. It was a really good place kicker at UAB. I think he kicked one for 4 years.
Yeah. He's also a prostate cancer survivor. Yeah. Coach Arians is. Yeah. He's like 68 years old, I believe, and has been coaching for 45 years. Now it's his turn.
It sure is, and it's going to be his. He's going to be on up close and personal this Saturday.
That's just like it. The coach at the Kansas City. What's his name, Michael? He won his first.
Andy Reid.
Yeah, didn't he win his first Super Bowl last year? And he's been in it for a long time.
He's a great guy.
You don't get to the mountain top.
It's gonna be hard to beat the Chiefs. The more I've been looking at that game, man, I just don't know how they can shut them down throughout the game. I just feel like Kansas City will eventually outscore them.
Well, they have 2 players in COVID protocol. They're both backups. The Kansas City Chiefs do. They've not tested positive, but they've been in close contact. But if they test negative within a day or 2 of the Super Bowl, they will be allowed to play. And they're 2 backups.
I was wondering how they did that. And, how many days ahead did they do that?
Well, since they did not test positive, their protocol, the way I read, if they test negative within a day or 2 of the Super Bowl, they will be able to play. And what today is, Tuesday, so they got 5 more days till they play. And kind of exciting.
NFL's done a good job with cases throughout the year. They really haven't had too many issues.
Yeah, I know the Ravens got hit hard during the year, but they ended up making the playoffs, but lost to the Bills.
Yeah.
But,
Mike, there's a good article on Tua in the Messenger today, and it said Tua, my first season below average, is a good article about how Tua reacted to this season. And
I mean, he threw 64% completion percentage. I mean,
that's pretty good, isn't it?
He threw 14 touchdowns, only had 5 interceptions. I mean, I don't think he played as bad as people make him out to be. I mean, you really think a rookie's just going to come to dominate? I mean, you usually don't see that happen.
Yeah. And, the thing about it, he's not a real physical. He's still not a real physical quarterback.
He's got to get in the weight room. You're right. He's got to get bigger and stronger.
Yeah, that's what he's going to have to do, no question.
It's called receiving core.
Yeah.
What did he have? Lineman. What did he have?
Yeah. He had really poor offensive players. You're right.
Yeah, they got to get some people around him, and they got a.
Najee Harris and Devontae Smith might go to the Dolphins. They're saying.
Oh, really? That's something.
It's all dependent upon where Deshaun Watson goes to. You know, they're talking trades. You know, all the, what the frustrating thing. What I'm frustrated about is, if I don't like playing anymore for that team, I'm gonna leave. I'm not gonna play. Trade me.
Yeah.
And it happens in the National Basketball Association. It happens in the National Football League, and it's now look at college football. If I don't like what I'm doing, hey, I'm going to transfer out and get to play tomorrow.
This show is brought to you by Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks on the bypass right here in Troy. Wasn't that, Mike?
I said, I hope he stays in Miami because I get to watch all the Miami Dolphins games living up here in Florida.
That's right. They do cover Miami quite well, don't they?
They cover all the Miami games, so you see a lot of Tampa Bay games as well.
Yeah. Of course, also I want to mention Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need, now with 14 locations to choose from. And we'll be back to more of Today in L.A. right after this.
Hi, Sandy. I'm right here. Come on in.
Baby, I'm right here. Hello, Miss Mary. I'm right here. I'm right here.
Since 1969, we've been right here because at Troy Regional Medical Center, we take these words to heart.
I'm right here. Thank you.
Remarkable people, remarkable care.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson Satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson satisfaction is real.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
Our history is woven with the stories of those we serve. At Max, we've been a good community partner for 65 years. Max is dedicated to providing dependable financial services and to supporting our communities. We volunteer our time and share our resources. As a credit union, we've returned millions of dollars back to our members, local nonprofits, and small businesses. Max is honored to be a part of your story. We look forward to serving you for years to come.
No, Georgia's that often. Back to our show, ladies and gentlemen. Dan Smith has just walked in the arena, and of course our good friend, the recreation director. Come on up, Dan. And he'll be setting up in just a few moments.
Troy Cable Security Wi-Fi doorbell camera allows you to answer the door from your smartphone when you are at home, at work, or on the go. When a visitor presses the button, Troy Cable Security sends a live video feed to your smartphone so you can see, hear, and speak to the person at your door. With the doorbell camera, you can have your porch light turn on automatically when it detects motion at night to create the appearance that someone is at home. You can view video clips so you can always know who stopped by when you were out. Troy Cable Security. You love them, protect them.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
A personal touch, a high level of trust. Whether it's checking and savings accounts, personal or business loans, or our local friendly service. That's what Troy Bank and Trust customers expect. But now we offer more. Free identity theft protection for our new and existing customers, protecting your family's time, money, and good name from identity theft. Because protecting your identity is now a big part of our identity.
Back to our show, brought to you by Troy Bank and Trust Company, the only bank you'll ever need. And let me tell you this, ladies and gentlemen, one of Troy's finest is with us today, Dan Smith.
Good morning, Mike.
Troy's
So
Recreation Director. And gosh, I don't want to ask you a question that's never been asked you before, because I'm sure you've had all of them. When are we going to open this? When are we going to do this? When is it going to be that? You always hear these things.
Sure, yes, sir, absolutely. And we're keeping our fingers crossed. As recent as yesterday, in the news, it appears that numbers are getting better across the state of Alabama with COVID.
And that was today, and the figures today were best I've heard in a long time.
Since the 26th of December, lower cases yesterday.
That's correct. Mm-hmm. That's correct. And as those numbers continue to improve, that is going to allow us to reopen some activities and programs and even facilities that have been closed for some time.
Now, of course, the first thing that comes to mind is baseball, rec baseball.
Yes, sir.
And you've already had your registration.
We have, and tonight we have tryouts for 9 and 10-year-old boys and 11 and 12-year-old boys.
Please, you're not going to do it tonight now.
Yes,
wait a minute. It's awfully cold out here. Dan, Mr. Smith, Mr. Smith, my son, he can't stand the cold weather. Mr. Smith.
Well, we appreciate everybody's understanding and cooperation.
Not tonight.
It's going to be a little chilly. It's going to be chilly, but it'll only be for about 1 hour. And if we did not have tryouts tonight, it would literally push the entire season back another week.
Isn't that amazing?
Thursday night we have tryouts for all the girls and selection, so it would not be possible to do it all on Thursday nights. So.
And ladies and gentlemen, this is big business. If anybody tells you that Troy Recreation Baseball is not big business, they're telling you the wrong thing.
Well, have it during the day because they're not in school this week.
Well, that may be an inconvenience for the parents. It'd be great if we could.
Oh, yeah.
It would.
But so what time tonight?
6 o'clock at Franklin Field.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And,
do you ever have issues finding coaches, Dan, or is that never an issue? Everybody has.
Well, yes, David.
And their parents want to coach.
That's a great question, Michael. David Dickey does run into a little bit of problems at the very end of the search for coaches. If we have, let's say, 50 teams, he'll get the first 40 to 45 with relative ease, but then he has to get on the telephone and make quite a few phone calls to get the rest.
Dan, have I seen some renovations at Franklin Field?
Well, we are updating the billboards. We have 5 World Series champion teams that we're redoing those billboards, and our grounds crew has been working exceptionally hard on all of the infields to make those presentable and bring those up to speed.
And of course, ladies and gentlemen, we're off and running with rec baseball, and like we said tonight. Now let's mention again the people that are supposed to be there tonight. Are what age group?
9 and 10-year-old Dixie Minor, and 11 and 12 Dixie Youth Ozone. We'll have tryouts from approximately 6 to 7 o'clock tonight, and then Thursday night we have tryouts for the girls' leagues at the Sportsplex.
All right, now you mentioned tryouts. Now some kids are already on a team. Is that right?
If they return to a team, then they do not have to attend tryouts.
But any new person are going into a new league, they have to be there.
Yes, sir. Absolutely. Yes, sir.
And let me just say this, and when you hear of Dixie Minor League, then your Ozone, this is Dixie Minor is almost what the quality of baseball is what Little League used to be almost. And then the Ozone is further advanced than that.
Well, it is, yes, sir. 9 and 10-year-olds, that's where they begin to pitch off of a mound.
Exactly.
And then, like you said, when they get to 11 and 12-year-old Ozone, the competition and the challenges get a little bit stronger.
It's almost like a new game with that pitcher coming in.
Yes, it is.
And but the training that they have gotten prior to that is the machine, and the machine. Isn't that right?
Well, now we went away from machine pitch a few years ago, and it is coach pitch now for ages 6 and 7, and 8, 5 and 6. And 7 and 8.
So they're being pitched to, but it's by a coach. Is that right?
Yes, we call it coach pitch.
Exactly.
Yes, sir. And we're hosting the state tournament this year in July for
Wonderful.
The 8 and under coach pitch, and that will be a very large state tournament.
Wonderful.
8 and under. Yes.
And ladies and gentlemen, if you don't think that the Troy Recreation Department don't bring in industry or bring in tourism or fanfare, you ought to see how large some of these tournaments are, and they spend the night here. They and of course they eat their meals here, and I know you probably have done some of this work to see how much or how involved the city and the county will be as far as making money in these tournaments.
Yes, sir. We've had some economic impact studies done before. Dr. Anthony Dixon at Troy University did one, and this has been a few years ago, but it was one particular tournament that he did a study on. It was his estimate that it had a economic impact of approximately $500,000.
Oh man, and that one weekend.
Yeah, well, it was for several days.
Yeah,
yes,
for several days. Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And and that is money that actually goes into the tax base of recreation.
Yes, sir.
Is that right?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Of course, Dan Smith is here, and I know, Dan, you drink coffee. Isn't that right?
Well, I've already had a cup.
Oh, have you? You mean you're just a one cup? Listen, a guy in your position is a one cup guy.
Well, I need to pace myself.
Ladies and gentlemen, Dan Smith, I watched him grow up. And out in Gibsonville, Alabama, that's why I call it. Most folks lived out there with the Smiths or the Gibsons.
And the Moats.
And what now?
And the Moats.
And the Moats, yeah. The Marshall Boy Moats lived right up the street. But there's a lot of kids in one place, wasn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes,
and
sir.
you grew up with the tutelage of the great, what I call some of the great people, Bo Gaylord and Scotty Sowers, and
yes, sir.
You learned a lot from those folks.
Well, there's no question.
Good tutelage, wasn't it?
To this day, I still think of Scotty and Bo all the time because those were two men that their mission in life was to make a difference in the community through park and recreation. And Scotty he was so involved in Bo Gaylord. If anything you see today, whether it's Franklin or the Sportsplex or the Recreation Center, Bo Gaylord had a hand in every bit of that.
That was his vision, wasn't
it? Yes, it was.
The vision of Bo Gaylord. And
well, what about the lake?
The problem when you had Scotty umpiring, be talking to you when you're trying to hit at the plate sometimes.
Yeah, Scotty was a character.
Yeah.
He would call me, what did he call me? Young Laddie.
Laddie.
Yeah. And you had a hard enough time concentrating on that picture, didn't you?
I know. I had my dad had to try to impress, and that was already pressure enough.
What about the lake, Dan? What's the update on the Pike County Lake?
Forrest, that's an excellent question. Thank you for asking that. Pike County Lake has been closed since right before Christmas. The state of Alabama Department of Wildlife and Fisheries, there has been an issue with moss and aquatic weeds growing in the water that made it very difficult for the fishermen to cast their lures. So they drained the water approximately 6 feet, which was a lot of water out of Pike County Lake, and the hard frost that we've had since December and in January is supposed to kill all of the exposed moss and aquatic weeds. They have closed the valve. The water is filling back up. We have reopened Pike County Lake on weekends, Saturdays and Sundays only for right now, until the water gets high enough that you can put a boat back in.
Right. No boats.
No boats, and that probably will continue for approximately maybe 2 more weeks because it is filling up at a good rate. So
it's amazing that you can do those things and correct those
yes, sir.
allergy problems.
Yes, sir. We're hoping, and they're very confident, and that way you're not using chemicals. It's natural, and of course there has been that little inconvenience of the lake being closed. But if it works as they say that it should, that's going to be a big improvement.
Yeah. What about a couple of questions?
Yes, sir.
You're building a boat ramp,
yes,
a dock,
yes.
And when would be the possibility of people renting the room that you have out there? When would that might take place later on?
Well, first of all, the boat dock is almost through. They should be through with the state of Alabama, the construction of the boat dock by the end of this week, and that's a nice addition. Also, the room that is in the conference center out at the lake, as the numbers continue to improve, we will be renting out that room more. And
at a later date? Have y'all opened that up yet?
Well, we have for some small
Okay.
meetings, and if there are people interested in small meetings, as long as they social distance, we can allow small meetings, just not some of the larger meetings that we have had in the past.
But as far as a father wanting to take his son out fishing, it's a perfect situation, isn't it?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We had a very good day this past Saturday of individuals fishing, and you can fish off the banks, you can fish off the pier and the dock that's already there, the existing areas, just no boats at this time, but you can fish off the banks all day.
And it's
do you
a lot of
ever
fun.
get any guests from Canada that come through? The Canadian geese? Do you have any of those out there at the lake?
Yes, as well as a bald eagle. There is a
bald eagle.
There is a bald eagle that comes through the wintertime and has been there last week and the week before.
Man, oh man, I love to see that.
It's rare to see it, but it's a beautiful bird. It's just amazing.
Of course,
we had those at Great Beach where I lived down there. We have a couple of them, and they're majestic to see flying over you.
Absolutely. It certainly is.
And it's got a nest out there somewhere, doesn't it?
Well, probably so, but we're not sure. We haven't seen the nest. And obviously the eagle lives somewhere else, but it only comes for a few weeks during the wintertime.
Yeah, well, that's amazing. And beautiful Pike County Lake, and some of your dreams are coming true. You know that a father can take a kid out with a boat and a paddle and teach them a lot about growing up. You know, where you grew up.
Yes, sir. And the renovation of Pike County Lake again is a testimony of the vision of Mayor Jason Reeves, and it had become just dilapidated, as y'all all know. The Pike County Lake had just grown up, and the state of Alabama and Mayor Reeves got together and they partnered and drained the lake, and it was called recoring the dam. They rebuilt the dam and just cleaned up all the way around it and built the new building, and officials.
It's like a state park. It's like a mini state park.
We as far as was mentioning a little while ago about guests that come, and Michael was as well, there are many people that will Google on the internet and find Pike County Lake that are from out of town and passing through, and they have told our staff many times that it's one of the best kept secrets in Alabama.
Yeah, it's amazing. Now, you don't allow camping yet, do you?
No, sir. No, sir. We do not allow. The facility closes at dark, and the facility is owned by the state of Alabama.
Yeah.
And we manage the bait shop, sell licenses, sell supplies, and you know, Forrest is. We're lucky to have Forrest out there at times as a valuable part-time employee. And we have a wonderful staff out there, and they manage the bait shop. The City of Troy part-time employees manage the operation.
Willie's out there too.
Mr. Willie Coughlin, yes sir.
You got some good folks out there.
My preacher's out there too. My preacher, Mac Lowry.
Forrest has about 5 jobs. I don't know how Forrest does all this.
Forrest is one of a kind.
Hey, I'm free at 8:30. Anybody needs a part-time employee?
Right.
I was going to ask Dan, what is the upcoming things that are about to happen in the city of Troy as it relates to recreation? Is there anything on the horizon that you can release at this time? Or?
Well, there's nothing definite. There is a lot of things that Mayor Reeves and I have talked about, but as we all know, this past year with COVID has all of us a little conservative, if that's the right word. You know, just having to be cautious right now. And there is at Knox Street, as many people have seen, some renovation underway at Knox Street. And
McGee Field.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Still named after him, isn't it?
Yes, it is. Yes, sir. And there's going to be some improvements there that are going to greatly benefit the community and bring new life to the Knox Street area.
Yeah, I'm usually pretty good at this. You were on the Red Sox.
Cardinals.
Cardinals are the Red Sox.
That was in Little League and then Dixie Youth League. It was Little League one year and then Dixie Youth League later. Now, help me out. Did you coach in Farm League? Was it the Yankees or Senators? What was the name of the team that you coached?
Probably the Yankees.
The Yankees in Farm League, and you were my coach in Farm League.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
But,
I bet you never got excited, did you?
No, not at all.
No. But we, you know, it was so well done and everything. But usually the Cardinals was the other team that was on the tip of my head. But, it's amazing that so many people in this community have given back to the community, either as a coach or supporter over the years.
And that's why today recreation for the children is so important. We have good tournament teams for boys and girls, but there's so many children that participate and do not make a tournament team. But all of the children that participate in baseball and softball and soccer and flag football, basketball, is part of that team experience that you learn as a child. You learn responsibilities, and to be involved, you know, locally, I know there's so many people that it's just a bond that you have from playing and participating, and it's just a special thing.
You know, and of course you could just name them over and over and over. One thing that I know you've heard over the years was Scotty saying, "Let them play ball." And what he meant, he didn't mean the guy that could hit all the home runs, or the guy that could steal all the bases, or strike out all the batters. He said, "Let them play ball." And that meant everybody. That meant all the kids. And the good kids were not overwhelming the kids that were not so good.
Absolutely.
And that's the way Scotty looked at it.
Well, and that's the way we hope it is today and will always be, because, as I said, there are children that everybody does not make the tournament team, and for 80% of the kids, they'll play regular season only, and that's
have a good time.
Have a good time, and that's very important to them. The social interaction with other kids, learning discipline and responsibilities from coaches and practices and games and accountability, and that carries over into life in the real world.
It sure is, and you're, as a parent, you know, you can take your kids out there and know he's going to have equal opportunity and
yes, sir.
to play ball and have fun.
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Yeah, I mean, I remember one of my can't believe I saw that happen. When we were seniors in high school, we still talk about that to this day.
Yeah.
Like I keep on asking Meadows, can we just threw him a ball right down the middle and threw it to the field.
Yeah. But that is a good example, because if you hang around Troy Rec very long, you're gonna have a major leaguer or future major leaguer throwing at you, aren't you?
Absolutely, yes, sir.
Dan, I wanted to ask you this and compliment you about one thing that I've noticed. Your photography skills at youth sports and even at the high school level is an added feature for parents to go online and see their kids, or even on your website. You're just a phenomenal photographer, and how you give that aspect of recreation back to the parents and the players, boys and girls. Where did you get your first camera, and how did that love of photography begin for you?
Honestly, thank you, Forrest. I have to tell this story. My mama and daddy used to take us to see the Atlanta Braves when my brother Ben and I were 8 to 12 years old, and my daddy had a pair of Navy binoculars from World War II that he had carried to the game, and my mama had an Instamatic camera, and we would hold up one lens of those binoculars and put the Instamatic camera on it and try to take pictures of baseball players as the game was played. And that was really, we were just playing around. But the way I really got started in photography was my brother Ben got a Canon AE1 for Christmas his senior year of high school, which was 1981 at Charles Henderson. And it pretty much just, he didn't use it a whole lot. And when I was in school at Troy State, I asked if I could borrow it for a photography class, and I did. And that's how
and
I
never
really
saw
got,
that camera again.
No, sir. No, sir. And as I say, he asked for a camera that Christmas, and I'm glad, I always say I'm glad he asked for a camera and not a pony.
Now, you know, if you'd lived in a big city, I could see that you would have ended up being the sports editor of a big newspaper one day, because you loved that camera work. It was a part of your life, and a lot of people describe you as a person that loved to take pictures and do what you do today.
Well, thank you, Mike. The good Lord has blessed me with the opportunities to serve in the community in many different ways. And today, when I take pictures, it's a way of promoting the good things that the young people are doing. Whether it's flag football or softball or baseball, the children that participate locally are having a great time. And it's a way for us to show the community what we've got going on. Is marketing in a sense, and we're just very blessed to have the participation that the parents sign their children up and allow them to participate.
Indoor, outdoor swimming pool, state-of-the-art weight room, all kinds of physical activities y'all pretty much can be involved in.
Yes, sir. The recreation center, much of it has opened back up. We because of COVID concerns and restrictions, we still have not opened the locker and shower rooms. Basketball and racquetball is still not being played, as well as Child Watch is still closed. But again, Mike, as the numbers get better, we believe all of those will be reopening, hopefully in the near future.
How about basketball leagues? Or you've got two Olympic-sized basketball courts.
Well, unfortunately, we are not playing youth basketball this season.
I understand.
Yes, sir.
Are y'all a shelter as well due to bad weather in Troy? I don't even know if y'all are or not, but maybe y'all are.
Yes, always. If there is severe weather that is an enhanced risk, for whether it be a tornado, we know that there's going to be a good chance of tornado warnings, or brutally cold weather. There's been times that the temperatures would get down in the lower teens, and the rec center opens as a warming shelter or a storm shelter. And when it's a storm shelter, we'll have as many as 20 to 40 people to attend.
Yeah. And it's a great service that you provide. I tell you,
we just want people to feel safe, no matter where they live, what kind of dwelling they live in. You always want to feel safe on those scary nights.
Do you have a staff that usually is over that, or do you handle it yourself? Or?
Well, we all pitch in and make sure that we are able to accommodate those guests.
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
I tell you what, it's really amazing the things that you're able to do representing our community.
Well, again, it's a testimony to our mayor and city council. If you look at our fire department, police department, public works, library, utilities, senior center, and I know I've left out a department or two, but the city of Troy is so balanced. Mayor Reeves and the Troy City Council give equal support to all departments so that the quality of life in Troy is what it is today.
Yeah, and I tell you what, it really is good. A big announcement this morning, and I'm sure now you do a lot of stuff on by way of the internet. You get the word out
Yes, sir.
about what's going on.
Yes, sir.
And then you've got a big deal going on tonight with recreation baseball.
Yes, sir.
And it's very important that you attend.
Well, it is tryouts tonight. Again, we just encourage everybody to dress warm, bring a blanket or two. And
talk about you parents.
The parents and the kids, let them dress warm. And the coaches just want to be able to put a name with a face at practice, so when they do their selections, they'll have an idea of who little Johnny is.
And you're expected to be there at least an hour, is that right?
Well, it begins at 6 o'clock. We want everybody to be on time.
Yeah.
We are going to start at 6 o'clock so we can get everybody out of there as quick as possible.
And it's very important about placing your youngster on a team, is that right?
Oh, yes, sir. Yes, sir. And everybody will be placed on a team. It just kind of gives us a chance tonight for the coaches to watch the kids swing a bat and run to first base and field a ground ball and throw to first.
And if you want to be serving hot chocolate, I'm sure Dan might want to step himself.
Right. Hey, Dan, I know you got to go in a little bit, but
yes, sir.
Here's a parting gift on behalf of Mike and I. These are 4 dozen donut holes for you and your staff.
Oh, really?
There you go. There's your donuts for you.
I appreciate that.
And I don't know if you realize how good this bakery is, this Trojan bakery that is really, really good.
Yeah.
I appreciate that, and I've heard about them and how good their pastries are and such.
They really are.
I want to get with you one of these days, and I'm looking into maybe donating some money for a cup field. I was a great cup ball player.
Cup ball.
Maybe we can name the cup ball field after Mike Amos, my dad, one day.
Well, there were some legendary cup ball games at Knox Street.
It sure was.
I was a great player. I talk about it all the time.
In fact,
a great gym hockey player for Whitey Whitman. Scored 6 goals in the game, I think, one time, and then I was a great cup ball player.
And see, little things like that made this guy every time they'd have a cup ball game, he was confident of being good at it. You know?
Yes, sir.
Unfortunately, they don't make cups like that anymore.
No, they don't.
But it had been a big game over the years, and especially at Riddle Pace. You remember?
Oh, absolutely.
And a kid that grew up in Troy and didn't remember cup ball was that you did it by hand and you had a cup and you hit it. And how far you could hit it with your hand.
Well, you'd wad up one
time we were playing cup ball and we were at a game at Riddle Pace, and I was like, oh, that's Bo Jackson going to the bathroom.
That's right.
In the middle of the game, because they'd have to walk out the dugout.
That was back when he had to walk to the restroom. You're right.
So Bo Jackson came back and talked to us all playing cup ball for a long time.
Oh boy, history. We could write a book, couldn't we?
Absolutely.
I know you could. I tell you what, it's always a pleasure to have Dan here. I've said this over and over. I've never asked Dan to participate on our show that he didn't participate.
Well,
and I appreciate that.
Mike, what you have done for this community cannot be. We could take a whole week talking about that on your show. And thank you for what you do in Troy and what you've done all your life. You have promoted everyone and everything, and you've promoted the good things and telling people about all of the good things that are going on in Troy. And that's what we want to hear. We want to hear the good things. And I want to thank you for what you've done all your life and continue to do.
Thank you so much.
Forrest as well. Forrest is a great American as well.
No question about it. Thank you so much.
Yes, sir.
We'll be back to more of Today in L.A. right after this.
Here at Bill Jackson Chevrolet in Troy, we've been doing business the right way for 31 years. But don't take our word for it. We feel our customers express it the best.
Been honest in everything we've discussed with them.
When they say Jackson satisfaction, they really mean it.
The Jackson satisfaction is real.
Have you seen an increase in your insurance premiums or significant change in your insurance coverage? Let Sandbeck Insurance offer you a better plan to suit your business or personal needs. Sandbeck Insurance offers many lines of insurance, whether it's home, farm, or auto insurance, work comp, business, or health and life policies. Sandbeck is here for you. Call or visit our Troy, Enterprise, or Andalusia office today. Sandbeck Insurance, where we take pride in taking care of your insurance needs.
Troy Cable Security makes it easy to stay aware and stay in control of your home wherever you are. User-friendly interface allows easy navigation for lights, locks thermostat, video, and garage doors. Never worry about leaving your garage door open or the front door unlocked. Your mobile app can send alerts to your phone for alarm and no alarm events. Know when your children arrive home from school with video response. Make sure your home is powered by Troy Cable Security for ultimate access, awareness, and protection.
At the Piggly Wiggly, we proudly support our local farmers and bring you the best they have to offer, all at cost plus 10%. When you shop local, you reinvest in your community. Remember, buy local, shop local. Piggly Wiggly, local since forever.
The name of the place is Trojan Donut Holes, and let me just say this. These donut holes are delicious, and they bake them right here on the bypass every morning.
Yeah, Charlie Chung. And
where is he from originally?
I think he's from Korea. I gave him a business card this morning. I had some business cards made at Troy University. If you need any kind of business cards, Troy University, their print shop in the student center, the old Adams Center, you can go in there and take a left, and you can get posters made.
Can you?
I've got business cards made, 500 for like $20, and they're red, white, and blue, American flag, Alabama flag, my name, address, email, and just so I could give people a card.
And you can get it done. You can get it done at the
yes,
right there as you walk in.
Right there at the Trojan Center, the Adams Center. It's downstairs before you go to the food court. It's on your left.
And they do outside business.
Sure. Yes.
The only problem is, Forrest, how can you put all your jobs on a business card?
I left it blank, and I went by Jason Gregory. Man, Jason Gregory is something else.
I know it.
And I went by to see him, and I might drive from him time to time for the Chrysler Premier Dodge out there on my weeks off from the golf course, and I gave him my information that he needed, and he was the first one to get my business card.
Yeah.
And but anyway,
of course we do a lot of Ideal Graphics, don't we?
Yeah, we do a lot of business with them too.
Yeah,
you're right.
Yeah, I've done a lot of stuff with them as well. But
apparently, Punxsutawney Phil towards the Steve Camp has seen his shadow, and that predicts 6 more weeks of winter. So that's official. That happened just a little while ago.
When is deer season over? February the 10th, so we just have a few more days left in deer hunting. Is it a lot of deer hunters out there, Steve?
Well, I hit one on the Little Oak Road Saturday night about 9:30.
Did you really?
And I was watching for him, but he wouldn't. I slowed down. He took a left turn and hit the side corner panel of my truck.
Do you know a lot of what they do? They see themselves in in your side of your vehicle. They can just like looking at a mirror. like a deer looking at like a deer in the headlights. And boy, that's amazing. You know how they just almost run into you.
Did you at least find him and clean him and gonna have some food?
No, he I think he jumped up and ran off, and that's about the second one I've hit in the last 3 years.
Let me just tell you this: I'm not trying to be cute this morning. I just don't have any hair under this hat, so I'm not trying to be cute this morning. Wearing the what do you call this? Is it
a beanie? Is it called a beanie?
Beanie, yeah. I reckon it's called a beanie.
I call it the Payne Stewart look.
Payne Stewart look, yeah.
I always called it a chauffeur cap.
Mike Amos calling and talking to us from Graton Beach, Florida, and of course, is it going to continue to be cold weather down there?
Yeah, it's going to be cold the next couple of days. I think it's going to be pretty nice this weekend, though. It's going to be back in the 70s, so it's going to be hopefully decent weather for the Super Bowl on Sunday. I know there's going to be a lot of events down here at different restaurants and bars and establishments, so should be a good weekend, I hope.
And I tell you what, how about, do you want a quart of camp stew? You got it. I'm going to order 10 of them by donating $100 to the Salvation Army. I'm going to have 10 quarts of camp stew.
I think he'd probably like that as Millie Amos, my little one.
Does she like stew?
She likes everything.
Does she?
You know she'll camp stew because she loves gumbo.
Does she? She loves gumbo?
Yeah, she's only 3.
Oh, boy.
In a little bit of high school basketball last night, Pike County defeated Goshen 66-19, and again, that was the boys' game, and the girls defeated Goshen 47-19. Goshen will host New Brockton tonight in Goshen. No fans are allowed, but you can live stream that game on the National Federation of High School Sports.
Let me tell you a little bit about New Brockton. Some of the great players that came out of New Brockton, and one of them is our veterinarian out here at Trojan Terrace. And he was a great player. A lot of people don't realize it, that he was a great player at New Brockton High School, and then he later on went on to vet school at Auburn.
Maddox, okay.
Dr. Maddox was an outstanding high school basketball player, and a lot of people might not know that. Charles Clark, one of my good friends, was a star player at New Brockton. And we had Paul Word, one of my great friends, and no longer with us now. God rest his soul. Was a great coach. He won a state basketball championship at New Brockton.
Yes, sir.
Those are trivia questions that you could answer today.
And Charles Citizen will host Pike County High School tonight on the campus of Charles Citizen High School, and you have to call 566-3510.
Charles Citizen and
Pike County plays in Troy tonight, but you may not be able to get in the game.
But now you being a reporter, though, you ought to be able to show them your card.
Well, I don't have a reporter card on there, but I might could do the game if available. And Troy State plays tonight. Troy University men's.
Yeah, I know they sure do.
They play at home against Spring Hill, and Greg Kennedy is coaching at Spring Hill.
Tell us about him. I tell you, I've always liked him.
Well, I looked it up earlier, but he's been well traveled. I think he's originally from maybe Canada, but he's coached at Auburn under Coach Champy before.
Yeah.
He went to Georgia Southern,
Auburn's girls,
and coached there, and found his way to Troy University, and coached the women here for a little while. I know he's got 2 sons, Melissa, and his son's name is Hunter.
Hunter, yeah.
Both graduates of Charles Henderson High School.
Hunter's going to make a good coach.
And Hunter, played a little bit of football at Troy University.
Yeah.
And Coach Kennedy is the assistant athletic director at Spring Hill and also the head men's basketball coach. And this is their first game of the year, and I think their league has kind of been suspended because of COVID. And last year they were 8-21.
Yeah.
Spring Hill was.
Are they NAIA or are they Division II?
I have to look at that.
I don't know. But I'll tell you this. It's a wonderful school. It's one of the top schools in the country. I mean, academically,
Right.
And it is one of the most expensive schools to go to in the United States.
Right. And Troy University is undefeated at home. We're 5-0.
Yeah.
The men are. And our record is 8-9, so maybe we can pull to an even 500 record, and we're 3-5 in the conference. And it seems like our team is starting to gel and getting a lot more confident.
Now this weekend, who does Troy play?
I believe we host
Georgia Southern.
Host Georgia Southern.
Oh, that's going to be fun. Yeah, that's going to be a good one to go see.
And
have you been to any games still?
I went to one Saturday, and enjoyed it. I didn't stay but a half, but I really enjoyed it. Saw Nick and Wiley and all my good friends over there.
Yeah, Mr. Wiley.
Troy, I watched a little bit of it. All their games on ESPN Plus, and it looked like they had a pep band. It looked like they had
they had a pep band. It was just like a regular game, But I don't know how they did the. I know this, that if you had season tickets, you got to get in. I know you could get in if you had season tickets.
How do they do concessions? Can you get any kind of food or anything?
Yeah,
or just drinks?
beverage and food. I don't know exactly what food, but I went through the VIP room and had some chili and some other good things.
Okay, the VIP.
Yeah. Well, I mean that was
They've always said that over the years.
If you paid a little extra, you went through the VIP deal.
Hey, I went by the the elementary school yesterday to pick up a desk that belonged to me, but I saw Jennifer Sykes, and she gave me a Charles Citizen High School baseball schedule, and our first game for Charles Citizen High School will be Saturday, February the 13th. They'll play 2 games against George W. Long.
Oh boy, they're going after one of the best programs in Alabama.
Yeah, first pitch at 11:30, and here are some of their opponents: Dothan, Demopolis, Jackson, Stanhope, Elmore, Enterprise, Prattville, Shelby County, Robertsdale, Jefferson Davis, Lee of Montgomery, Dothan, and then it gets into some of their schedules. It's got Gulf Breeze. Looks like they're on there.
That means they'll probably make a trip down to the beach.
Right. And their area games, Greenville and Andalusia. Yeah. That's who's in their area. So.
Well, I mean, they're not any more than that. It's just 3 teams.
Well, that just those 3 teams.
Yeah, I guess.
And but the head coach is Chase Smart. His assistant coaches are Taylor Polk, Ty Martin, Sam Kitchens, and Brian Meadows.
Oh man!
So he's got a pretty good coaching staff there.
That's great, and I tell you, I'm glad to see Brian use up some of his leisure time to coach baseball.
Well, he's just giving back what was given to him, and
his daddy was a good coach, and it took me maybe several years beyond coaching against him to realize how good a coach he was.
Right.
And he was kind to kids, and he respected kids, and not only did you get a good man coaching your kid, but a man that coached his son into a major leaguer.
Well, when I was at
he was a stoic guy. He never got too excited. His mood never changed.
He sure did. I never heard him raise his voice. He's not with us anymore. But I never heard him raise his voice.
Yeah, Amos was a big, intimidating guy too. He was a big guy.
Yeah.
Brian reminds me of his demeanor's pretty even keel, but
oh yeah,
he's got 4 kids. Brian does, but his sons are John and Jake, and they would ride with Blake Lowry. That's how they would get to school when I was at the elementary school, and I'd be on the back side of the gym helping people get out of cars and all that kind of stuff. But when they would get out of the car, I'd say, well, there's Big John, Jake, and Blake. Blake Lowry and John and Jake.
Who was Blake Lowry's?
Wally. That's Wally's youngest son.
They lived in the same neighborhood?
They lived side by side.
Yeah.
They carpooled together, and I said, well, here comes Big John, Jake, and Blake. And they just get out and just walk on. They're not morning people.
Yeah. But they, of course, when you got a guy like Brian Meadows with the demeanor of a Brian Meadows, you hope that every kid would be like that, you know.
Right, and but you know, he's a tremendous asset to the city of Troy and the rec department. Brian is, and he's like the manager of the lake. He's like the supervisor of the lake personnel. Brian Meadows is. You know, he's who hires and runs the boat shop.
That's right.
Yeah, he comes out there and checks on things, but he's over the lake part of it. I don't know what his other responsibilities are with the rec department, but that's his. Used to be
that seems like that'd be good duty.
Oh yeah,
it'd be a lot of fun to go check out the lake every day.
Yeah, he checks out our supplies, and you know, there's Jack Crawley, and Willie Coffin are out there. Jim Mullis, Mac Lowry, Joe Johnson. There's a
great bunch of Trojans. Could I go out there and just have a cup of coffee?
Sure, but you know, they're only open on Saturday and Sunday. And there's a Davis fellow out there. Can't think of his first name. Ashley Davis. He's out there part time, and I did work out there part time.
Pretty big staff, don't you?
And we rotate out, or they were rotating out about 15, 20 hours a week, something like that.
Of course, want to make sure you buy your stew, and they're giving you you give $10, they'll give you a quart of stew this morning. Well, it's actually going to be for sale at the location on South Grundy Street of the Salvation Army, and again, for every $10 donation, you get a quart of delicious stew. And we appreciate it.
You know, some COVID updates, Michael. I've got some, and
yeah, please. It's time to give us some COVID.
And I read an article in the Troy Messenger this morning, and Corey Kirkland, Mr. Corey Kirkland, is the administrator for the Alabama Department of Public Health for the Southern District of Alabama. That's 10 counties, and I don't know all those counties, but Pike County and Crenshaw County are in that district. And according to his report, there's been 1,200 vaccines given in Pike County. 1,200. In the district, a total of about 9,200. They're starting the second round of your vaccine shots beginning today or this week. They're not making any new appointments at this time until the second dose is given to those who took the first dose. And right now, the health department is not taking appointments. Wait another week or two before you call in. But they're now emphasizing the people who got their first dose. According to Alabama.com, there was an article there that was released by the Alabama Department of Public Health. A website now is up and running, and it's called Alabama alcovidvaccine.gov. If you'll type in alcovidvaccine.gov, there's a link that checks to see if you're eligible. You can make an appointment. It gives you information as to where drive-ins are, where walk-ins are, where the health department sites across Alabama that are open, and you could go to that website today and make an appointment. But I know Pike County is, they're trying to now start giving the second dose to those who are in need. Yesterday, there were 1,221 cases reported. That's the lowest amount since December the 26th. Statewide. Since December the 26th. So that's a dramatic change.
Right.
And that's a plus. So that's a good sign. And according to that data, Crenshaw County reported one case. Pike County reported one case. According to the article I read on Alabama.com.
How many people were tested?
Didn't say that. Didn't say that.
But they're still testing people. Is that right? Yeah.
Sure. If you have symptoms, get tested. And but the deaths in Alabama right now have been designated at 7,688, almost 7,700 since the start of this COVID problem that we're having. And so that's the updates that I have. And but you know, it's.
Mel Kiper, I was looking at his top 25 players for the upcoming NFL draft, and his number one player is Trevor Lawrence at Clemson. After that, he has Devontae Smith out of Alabama at 4. These are the top players on the board. He has Jamar Chase at number 5, the LSU receiver, didn't even play this year. Kyle Pitts at number 6. Zach Wilson, the quarterback at BYU at 7. Patrick Surtain from Alabama at 8. Justin Fields at Ohio State at 9. Waddle, even though he got injured, is at number 10, best players available. Other players interested. Trey Lance, quarterback at North Dakota State, is number 15. And a guy that really made a lot of money for himself in the national championship game, Christian Barmore from Alabama, is number 20th.
And that's something.
Best player available. And then Najee Harris is number 22. Kadarius Toney, the kid out of Mobile that played at Florida, is number 23. And then number 24 is a guy named Xavier Collins out of Tulsa. And the last player in the top 25 best players available is Mac Jones. So you go down that list, you got Mac Jones for Alabama, you got Najee Harris, you got Barmore, Jalen Waddle, Patrick Surtain, and Devontae Smith. That's 6 guys that Mel Kiper's got for the best 25 available from Alabama.
Mike, let me ask you this real quick. Did Jones play in the game?
No, he got hurt. You know, he was having the best week. Actually got voted best practice player, and his stock went up tremendously at the Senior Bowl. And he got hurt. They decided not to play him before the game.
He reminds me a lot of Brady. He's a Brady type guy. He's not going to kill you running the ball, but he's going to be smart. He's going to really be smart.
You know, Leatherwood's name wasn't even mentioned, Alex Leatherwood, so he might crack the top 32. But he's a big old lineman.
He's a big offensive tackle. I'm surprised. A lot of people had him as a first, second round last year. And I thought he would creep in coming back, but that would be a shame if he doesn't get in the first round.
Auburn can be awfully excited about that kid that has dropped Georgia and took Auburn. Benedict High School in Savannah, Georgia, and this is a huge catch for Auburn. Auburn got him over Georgia, over LSU, over Michigan, over Florida State, and over Tennessee. That's pretty good company. So, what were you going
to see if Troy's going to have any guys that are going to even test going into the NFL draft, how to be a free agent, some of these senior offensive wide receivers that played at Troy that were really good players, or if they'll just try to come back and play another year. I'm going to be interested to see who decides to just want to go ahead and play in the NFL or give it a shot.
I think you're going to have almost 100% come back because they're not fully developed yet, and another year could help their stock. I really feel like that's going to be Troy's situation, which is good for Troy. But now, whether or not they're going to go switch teams, I don't know. See, that's what scares me is number 2, Marshall. He could leave and go to play at Auburn or Alabama if he wanted to.
You know, I looked it up the other day, and I cannot remember. There's a certain day that you have until you enter the portal, and it has to also relates to if you have a coaching change and if a team goes under some kind of penalty. But there is a certain point.
There's some stipulations.
There's some stipulation. There's a time frame when you can enter the transfer portal, and I forgot what it's. I think it's after the draft. I mean, after the National Signing Day. But I guess we'll know when the smoke clears Wednesday. We'll know more Thursday morning how Troy University's come out as it relates to recruiting Auburn and Alabama. And but there's still a lot of players out there on the transfer portal that have not yet landed on a team, and throughout the country.
The guys that are great players at Troy is Geiger, the receiver. I mean, there's how many balls he's caught over the last couple of years. He's a guy that, if he comes back, he'd help Troy a lot. Reggie Todd, Mississippi State transfer out of Blunt, the big, strong receiver, 6'5". He's a
be two that Troy really does need to keep. And will they be able to keep them away from this portal?
Well, we don't have a wide receivers coach at this time, do we, Michael? Is that still open?
Yeah, I mean, I think Coach Carr coaches receivers as well, John Carr. But I know that Cornelius coached wide receivers, and he also had some kind of coordinator, passing game coordinator role. So yeah, they got to figure out what they're going to do there.
All right, but those two, if we can keep those two receivers, that would be a real coup. All right, who else, Mike? Yeah, there were two. How many did you have?
Well, there's the other really good receiver. I think he's going to go pro though. Number 6. He's not going to come back for his senior year again. What's his last name? Is it Marshall too?
No, I don't believe it was Marshall.
No, you mentioned that.
They go number 6. No, McLean.
McLean, yeah.
He's going to test the pros. He's going to. I think he's not coming back.
All right.
No,
But he's that big, tall, physical receiver, number 6. He's 6'4". He caught a lot of touchdown passes for Troy.
You know, I'm wondering, the kid that got out of Florida State, they may make him into a little slot receiver. Those fast running backs that are elusive. You just get him the ball and let him go.
You talking about the Webb guy?
Webb. Is he a big guy or is he a fast guy? Or both?
Yeah, I mean, I think he's both. Khalil McLean is the guy that is going to go ahead and.
Has he already made that announcement? Has he already made that announcement?
Yeah, he was out playing a postseason All-Star game, and NFL coaches were going to be involved.
I got you.
Not like the Senior Bowl, but kind of a smaller event.
Yeah.
Now, Mike, you mentioned that Kyle Pitts for Florida, that big tight end, they're projecting him in the top 10. Well, the freshman tight end from LSU is transferring to Florida.
Oh,
he's
boy.
like 6'5", 6'6".
Yeah, that guy's huge.
Is his name Bennett? I got it written down somewhere, but he's transferring to Florida. And
want to appreciate our good friends at Jean's Flowers. They can send flowers anywhere in the country, and they do a great job, and we appreciate them so much for being a part of our show. I also want to mention our good friends at Bird Drugs. Joe is recuperating from the same surgery I did, and
Big Joe Watson.
They've done very well, and one of the great people of all time, Joe Watson, the pharmacist at Troy and the owner of Bird Drugs on the square in downtown Troy. And also Goldfingers. Boy, I love their chicken. Their chicken is wonderful.
I got some the other day. It was very good.
And there, of course, you're looking for chicken wings in abundance. They can do that too.
You're talking about
a lot of people that go to the games, sportsplex, drive over there and get Goldfingers a lot.
Yeah, exactly right. And of course, we've got some more more stores coming up. I've heard through the grapevine a couple of new restaurants coming to Troy, and can't deliver that yet, but hey, the more the better.
Troy's got a lot of restaurants. So that's one thing. They might need a few more hotels.
I wish we did. I wish we did have more hotels, and maybe before long we'll get some. We got some good locations.
It's a booming place.
Mike, of course, you've got a big weekend, and of course, we've got a lot of good shows left, and we
got a long ways to go to get to the weekend.
Yeah, you're right, and of course, we hope to have more information on everything that we can pass over to you. And
when's Carl Henderson going to hire a football coach? Maybe we'll find out that this week.
Yeah, that closes the 10th. That closes next Friday.
Yeah,
it's open now, and it said the closing date was February the 10th. Yeah. So my guess is the mailbox is loaded.
Well, appreciate Earl's Glass today, and also our good friends at with our location on South Brundage Street, and of course want to mention Troy Regional Medical Center, one of the great local hospitals in Alabama. Hope you've enjoyed our show today, brought to you by Bill Jackson Chevrolet Ford on the bypass in Troy, and our good friends at Premier Dodge Chrysler Jeep and Ram Trucks. Nobody beats the Premier deal. Nobody. We'll see you tomorrow.